Good morning, everyone, from Mr. Nicola Lettera. We are here at the Specialist Center in Padua, and with us is Professor Conti. Today we had a specialist consultation. A patient came to see us from Como. He had severe atrophy of the posterior maxilla. Will we be able to save him, Professor?
Yes. With the Galileo bridge technique, both on the right and left sides, we are able to resolve his anatomical deficit.
This is very important because, thanks to social media, people are starting to understand the effectiveness of this technique, and that's a very good thing, Professor.
Of course. Shorter surgical times, fewer procedures, just one operation, 2 hours, and after 1 day we have the fixed temporary prosthesis.
Perfect. The thing people ask me about the most, Professor, is how they can't believe that this technique you perform, the Galileo, can basically bypass the maxillary sinuses and avoid major sinus lifts. Is that right, Professor?
Yes. This procedure is avoided, which is a good one, but it takes longer and there's a higher chance of possible complications that would extend the time needed for prosthetics.
Of course.
Instead, with this technique, we're able to give the patient a provisional, even a fixed one, not removable, the very next day on very long implants. We're talking about implants that are 2 centimeters long, both the posterior and the anterior implants, because when there is enough bone depth, we also place the anterior implant, whether it's a nasal implant, which can even be as long as 19 millimeters.
And in fact, this is a technique that people often ask me about. They want to know why, in panoramic x-rays, they see these very long implants, Professor.
And also angled, impacting very strong bone, the classic resistance pillars of the skull, which are the pterygoid pillar, the zygomatic pillar, the nasal pillar, and the canine pillar.
See, they're starting to learn. You really are giving some great news.
Just a few implants in the right spots.
Of course, you're absolutely right. All right, let's continue with our work then. I'll leave you now and say goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye.
Until next time.